What is this large metal panel frozen into the shore of Lake Erie? During a frigid walk along the floor of Lake Erie, temporarily exposed by days of 40-mile-an-hour winds, a massive metallic panel was spotted embedded in the frozen sand, covered in wires, transformers, and electronic guts. It looks more sci-fi than shipwreck. Does anyone know what this could be? This mysterious slab is actually the remains of a plasma TV, probably dragged by currents and eventually grounded by wind-lowered water levels. The orange flex cables, transformer blocks, and heat sinks all point to the power supply and screen buffer boards of a once expensive home entertainment system. A good reminder that plasma TVs weren't just heavy, they were electrical monsters. Whether it fell off a boat or drifted from a landfill, one thing's for sure, this TV went out with a splash. Mother Nature might be the best recycler, but she's also got eclectic taste in shoreline decor. What is this green metal tube-filled mystery box found in storage? Weighing in at 25 pounds and discovered in a workplace storage room, this strange green metal box bristles with wires, bolts, and connectors. It seems industrial, but not even Google Lens could identify it. Does anyone know what this could be? Turns out, this box holds parts of electric scooters, possibly from an early or modular model. The tubes are housings for batteries or wiring, and the connectors would typically join to motors or steering assemblies. Someone likely stored the disassembled scooter for parts or repair. These pieces highlight how complex scooter design can be, especially when built for commercial or rugged use. The only thing missing is the part that lets you zoom away from responsibility. Or maybe that's sold separately. What is this ivory-colored item passed down since the 1950s? An intriguing ivory-colored artifact, 17 centimeters long and weighing 375 grams. It's been passed down through generations since the 1950s, but no one knows its purpose or origin. It has a faint sheen and a handcrafted feel that made the family think it was some sort of heirloom or religious relic. Unfortunately, this heirloom isn't quite what it seems. Rather than an ancient relic or antique treasure, it turns out to be a replica, possibly of a Roman ship, used as decorative or educational material. It resembles one of the models cataloged in a reference titled The Ship Roman, though the exact context is unclear. Despite the disappointment, it's still a beautifully made item and a great example of how family lore can grow around an object over decades. It's a reminder of how meaning and memory often matter more than material. Fun fact, over 60% of ivory antiques sold online are actually bone or plastic. Turns out authenticity is in short supply, but stories never run out. What is this small, clear, threaded knob found in a dishwasher after a BBQ? Stumbled upon this oddity in the dishwasher after a backyard BBQ. It's clear plastic, lightweight, threaded like a knob, and no one seems to know what it is. Could it be from a kitchen gadget, or did something melt in the heat? Does anyone know what this could be? Turns out this mysterious piece is most likely the warped remains of a plastic bottle that ended up in the dishwasher. When exposed to the high temperatures inside, thin plastic can collapse and twist, often resembling a miniature shrunken version of its former self. This type of deformation is common when soft drink or water bottles sneak their way into the bottom rack. They're not designed for high heat, and the result is a weird, alien-looking remnant. Moral of the story, keep bottles out of the dishwasher, unless you're going for avant-garde kitchen art. What is this taped-up LED thing found in the backyard? Here's a backyard mystery. A small device about 3 inches long, wrapped in tape, with a mini USB board, a green LED, and a single Christmas light attached. It lights green but flashes red when moved. What in the world? This might be a DIY Thoey, a type of homemade light gadget made with a coin cell, magnet, and LED, designed to be tossed onto metal surfaces like bridges. They stick, light up, and can glow for days. While they're fun, they also often end up as litter. In this case, someone might have added an accelerometer or simple vibration switch to trigger the flashing behavior when the object is moved or disturbed. This version's added wiring and flashing LED might mean someone was experimenting with motion sensitivity or repurposing scrap parts from other electronics. Fun fact, Thowys got their name from the MIT hacker scene and were part of urban art installations. Nothing says tech meets chaos like magnetic fairy lights. What is this 25-pound lead container? Discovered without a label, this heavy lead container weighs about 25 pounds. With no identifying marks, it definitely raises a few eyebrows and a few safety concerns. Its weight and construction hint at a protective function. But what exactly is it shielding? Does anyone know what this could be? This is actually a container used to store molybdenum-99, a radioactive isotope essential in nuclear medicine. It's part of a technetium-99 generator system, which hospitals use to create contrast agents for PT and CT scans. The thick lead casing blocks radiation, ensuring safe handling by medical professionals. Because molybdenum-99 has a half-life of 66 hours, proper shielding is critical from transport to storage. Mishandling one of these containers can pose serious health risks. If you ever find one, don't treat it like a doorstop. Call hazmat experts immediately. This isn't just heavy metal. It's atomic heavy metal. Rock responsibly. What is this tiny spoon-like tool from an old sewing kit? Unearthed from a 1940s sewing kit, this small spoon-like tool features a floral engraving on one end and a tiny oxidized bowl on the other. It's delicate, mysterious, and charmingly ornate. Could it be a miniature scoop for beads or powder? Does anyone know what this could be? It's actually an ear pick, a tool still used in many parts of Asia and the Philippines for ear cleaning. Unlike cotton swabs, which can push wax deeper, these small scoops remove it directly. The oxidation and patina? Likely just the effect of decades tucked away unused. While modern medicine tends to frown on them, ear picks remain popular in traditional hygiene kits. Some are even passed down as heirlooms. Who knew a sewing kit could carry a side hustle in ear maintenance, sewing, stitching, and scritching? What is this round item with a central spike found during a house move? A small, circular object turned up during a house move, round, metallic, with a sharp spike in the center. It's not obviously dangerous, but not clearly useful either. Could it be some kind of base or a piece of a larger machine? Does anyone know what this could be? Turns out it's part of a vegetable spiralizer. The spike in the center holds the vegetable steady while it rotates against a blade, turning it into long ribbons or spirals. Great for zucchini noodles, curly fries, or anyone dodging carbs. Spiralizers became all the rage during the low-carb and paleo movements. While some ended up in the back of the cabinet, others stayed in rotation as fun, healthy meal prep helpers. And if you never use it for veggies, it could always double as a medieval-looking paperweight. Just don't jab your finger on the spike. Trust us. Small silver metal tool labeled Just Right, found in a bag of crafting supplies. Among ribbons and thread, a small silver item labeled Just Right was discovered. Its narrow body and pointed ends look decorative, but strangely functional. Could it be part of a clasp or jewelry-making set? Does anyone know what this could be? This is actually a tatting shuttle, used in lace making. Thread is wound around the center, and the pointed ends are used to guide loops and knots, forming decorative lace patterns. Tatting has been around since at least the 19th century and was especially popular during the Victorian era. The brand Juice-Strite was known for quality shuttles used by hobbyists and professionals alike. These tools are still cherished by crafters, keeping this delicate art alive. So while it might not look impressive at first glance, it's just right for making something truly beautiful. Old tool, timeless style. What is this odd metal tool featuring a dial and adjustable tabs? An unusual metal instrument with a rotating dial and 3 adjustable metal arms was discovered in a workplace drawer. The arms move closer together or farther apart when the dial is turned and the tool feels sturdily built, perhaps iron or steel. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a watch case opener, a specialized tool used by jewelers and horologists to open the screwback cases of wristwatches without scratching or damaging them. The adjustable arms fit into the notches on the watch's back, and the dial tightens or loosens the grip to match different case sizes. Professional watch repair relies on such tools to access the movement for battery replacement, cleaning, or mechanical servicing. There are variations designed for snapbacks or friction-fit cases, but this style is the go-to for threaded watchbacks. Fun fact, the first modern wristwatch appeared around World War I, and by the mid-20th century, watchmakers had developed dozens of specialized openers. Some models could even handle rare pocket watch cases. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit like and subscribe. Your support genuinely helps YouTube's algorithm find more curious explorers like you. Thank you for helping us grow. Stay curious. What is this golden curved serrated blade labeled surgical instruments? Displayed under a surgical instruments label in a medical history museum, this ornately curved serrated blade looks more medieval than modern. Latin inscriptions along the spine hint at its age, and the gold plating catches the light, suggesting both function and prestige. Does anyone know what this could be? This is one of Albucasis' surgical tools, attributed to Abu al-Qasim al-Zahrawi, Albucasis, a 10th century Andalusian physician. His seminal work, Al-Tasrif, describes dozens of instruments for everything from cauterization to bone saws. This curved blade may have been used for soft tissue procedures or minor amputations. Albucasis is often considered the father of modern surgery. His designs influenced European medicine for centuries, and many of his instruments were made with decorative elements to signify their owner's status. Fun fact, some original Albucasis instruments are still preserved in museums, demonstrating craftsmanship that bridges art and early medical science. What is this plastic square with an AUX cable hanging off it? A hollow, lightweight plastic square with an attached AUX-style cable was found tucked away among stereo components. Its shape and cable hint at an audio or radio function. But what exactly? Does anyone know what this could be? This is an AM loop antenna, designed to enhance the reception of amplitude-modulated radio signals. The loop's large surface area captures radio waves, and the AUX connector plugs into the AM antenna input on a receiver. No power is required, just physics and copper wiring behind the plastic housing. Such antennas were commonly included with mid-century stereo receivers and remain popular among hobbyists seeking clearer AM broadcast reception. Adjusting the loop's orientation can significantly improve signal strength and reduce static. Fun fact, early AM broadcasting began in the 1920s. Loop antennas were key to pulling in distant stations, long before digital tuners and DSP filters made static largely a thing of the past. What is this compact black plastic device with an adjustment screw and fitting? A small black plastic gadget equipped with a threaded fitting and a precision adjustment screw was discovered in a random drawer. It has a hollow chamber and feels engineered to apply controlled pressure. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a windshield repair injector, used to fill chips and small cracks in automotive glass with resin. The fitting attaches to the windshield via a suction cup, and the screw mechanism forces resin into the damaged area. After curing under UV light, the crack is stabilized and becomes nearly invisible. DIY kits and professional shops both rely on injectors like this to salvage windshields, saving time and money compared to full replacements. Proper resin adhesion prevents cracks from spreading further. Fun fact, the first commercial windshield repair kits emerged in the 1970s. Today's high-clarity resins can restore over 90% of a damaged windshield's original strength and optical clarity. What is this plastic silver half-tube with a warning about TV screens? Lightweight and hollow, this curved plastic half-tube comes with an ominous warning. Do not hit the screen under any circumstances. Even more dramatic, it says to stay at least 5 feet from the television. So, what exactly is this safety-conscious cylinder? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a Wii remote accessory shell, likely part of a motion-enhancing add-on like a tennis racket, baseball bat, or golf club attachment from the Nintendo Wii era. When the Wii exploded in popularity in the mid-2000s, especially with Wii Sports, users got very into it. So much so that flying remotes and shattered flat screens became a common issue. Nintendo's solution? Wrist straps, silicone sleeves, and bright red warning labels like this one, often included on lightweight plastic shells that could turn your controller into a virtual sports implement without literally smashing your living room. Fun fact, the Wii was so accident-prone at launch that Nintendo offered free silicone Wii jackets to all customers in 2007. Because, apparently, a slice in tennis shouldn't end with a slice in your TV. What is this steel and wood item stamped 1890 with a spring-loaded plunger? Unearthed in Quebec, this sturdy object combines metal, wood, and a spring-loaded plunger. The 1890 stamp suggests age, and its size rules out typical kitchen gadgets. So, what sort of antique labor tool are we looking at? Does anyone know what this could be? This is an antique laundry agitator, a tool used before electric washing machines to manually clean clothes. The item would be plunged up and down in a wash tub filled with soapy water, mimicking the scrubbing and sloshing action that modern machines do with a spin cycle. The spring-loaded mechanism added mechanical pressure, helping to work the detergent into fabrics and lift out dirt. Some even had vented heads to create suction and turbulence in the water. Devices like this were vital during the 19th century, especially in areas without access to electricity. Fun fact, laundry in the 1800s could take an entire day, and often involved lye soap, boiling water, and a whole lot of elbow grease. Suddenly, modern laundry day doesn't sound so bad. What are these two brass, hollow tools with swappable parts? Found in a box, once owned by someone involved in both photography and saddlery, these hollow brass tools have openings at the top and interchangeable parts. Their origins seem stitched between two very different trades, but which one do they belong to? Does anyone know what this could be? These are punch needle embroidery tools, used in a textile art form where yarn or thread is pushed through fabric to form loops. The user holds the handle and punches the needle through a tightly stretched fabric surface, creating textured, raised designs that resemble rug hooking. The hollow shafts guide the yarn, and the interchangeable tips allow for varied loop heights and thread thicknesses. Punch needlework was especially popular in rug-making traditions and remains a beloved craft today for its cozy, tactile aesthetics. Fun fact, despite their niche use, punch needle tools have found a modern resurgence on TikTok and Etsy, where handmade punch rugs can fetch hundreds of dollars. Soft and stylish never goes out of fashion. What is this 3.5 metal tube with holes on one end and threads on the other? A curious aluminum cylinder showed up during a house cleanout. It's about 3 inches long, with ventilation holes on one end and a threaded seal on the other. It doesn't hum, click, or beep, but it's clearly made with purpose. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an aromatherapy inhaler tube, a discreet device designed to hold a cotton wick soaked in essential oils. When the cap is unscrewed, the perforated end allows the aroma to be inhaled directly, providing stress relief, mental clarity, or sinus support on the go. These tubes are popular with essential oil users and travelers alike. Compact and refillable, they're the modern-day cousin of old-fashioned smelling salts, without the drama of Victorian fainting couches. Fun fact, peppermint and eucalyptus are top choices for these inhalers, with some users swearing they help curb motion sickness or boost focus during long workdays, and unlike vapes, they won't set off airport security. What are these foldable white plastic discs with wavy slits? Pasta-related or something else? Discovered in a linen closet, these flexible white discs feature wavy slits and a foldable design. They look a bit like components from a pasta machine, but they're definitely not built for ravioli night. Does anyone know what this could be? These are filter vents from a Boda Dome cat litter box, designed to hold air filters in place inside the dome's ceiling. The wavy slits allow airflow while helping trap odors, creating a more pleasant environment for both feline and human occupants. The foldable design makes them easy to store when not in use, but their primary role is keeping the smell down and the vibes up. This clever mechanism turns an ordinary litter box into something far more odor-controlled and discreet, especially important in smaller living spaces where ventilation is key. Fun fact, the Boda Dome litter box, became popular for its spaceship-like design and built-in odor control features. It's basically a sci-fi hideout with air filtration for your cat. What is this heavy magnetic rod found stuck to the bottom of a car? A powerful, mysterious magnetic bar was discovered clinging to the undercarriage of a car. It has a threaded hole on one side and no clear link to automotive parts. So, how did it get there? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a magnet from a central heating system filter, specifically designed to collect iron particles, like rust, from the water circulating in a boiler. These filters protect pumps and heat exchangers from damage caused by debris. It likely got stuck to the vehicle by accident, either dislodged during transportation or simply because it got too close to a large metal surface. So, while it might look like some kind of tracking device or spy gadget, it's actually part of your home's plumbing defense system. Fun fact, these magnets are powerful enough to hold onto an entire tool set, and, as it turns out, a passing car. What is this concrete shaft with a hole found deep in the woods? Hidden among the trees, a lonely concrete shaft with a small hole invites speculation. There's no sign of nearby buildings or development, just this structure slowly being overtaken by nature. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a spring box, an old system used to gather and protect fresh water from a natural spring. The hole allows spring water to flow into pipes or containers, while the concrete housing protects the source from contamination by dirt, animals, or debris. Spring boxes are often found in remote or rural areas where gravity-fed plumbing is still used. They're a testament to pre-modern ingenuity, an infrastructure solution built right into the landscape. Fun fact, some spring boxes date back over a century and are still in use today, quietly supplying clean water long after their builders are gone. What is this small magnetic black ring? Mysterious, minimal, and oddly specific. It's sleek, lightweight, and clearly magnetic. But this little black ring doesn't look like a piece of jewelry or part of a machine. So what role does it play? Does anyone know what this could be? This is an Aura ring sizing tool used by companies like Target or Best Buy to help customers find the correct size before ordering a smart ring. The Aura ring is a health tracker that monitors sleep, activity, and other vital metrics, and a good fit is essential for accuracy. The ring sizer doesn't contain any tech itself, but it plays a key part in getting high-tech health wearables into the right hands, or rather, onto the right fingers. Fun fact, because the Aura ring is so small, it packs sensors that are more commonly found in wristbands. But without the right fit, even the smartest ring is just a ring. What are these black plastic cups with a Tex-Mex vibe? Found during a kitchen clean-out, these black plastic objects look like serving cups, maybe for salsa or guac, but their slightly strange shape and material say otherwise. Does anyone know what this could be? These are bacon cup molds, novelty kitchen tools that let you drape strips of bacon over the form and bake them into crispy, edible bowls. Once cooled, you can fill them with eggs, cheese, salad, or whatever delicious chaos you dream up. They were especially popular in themed kits for brunches or party appetizers. A delightful blend of food styling and function, they're like taco bowls, but with more crunch and cholesterol. Fun fact, in competitive bacon cooking circles, yes, those exist, bacon cups are often used as vessels for savory mini quiches or maple syrup-infused breakfast bites. Who needs plates when the food holds itself? What is this device with a pad button found under a car seat? Hidden beneath a car seat, a mysterious little gadget was uncovered. It has a button-like pad, a battery compartment, and no labels to explain its use. Tracker, remote, spy tech. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a panic button transmitter, typically used with aftermarket car alarm or security systems. When pressed, it silently sends a signal, either alerting authorities, triggering the vehicle alarm, or notifying a connected receiver. Designed to be placed within reach of the driver, it's a quiet safeguard during emergencies. While easy to overlook, it plays a critical role in personal security. In some systems, holding the button activates a silent alarm, alerting others without tipping off a potential threat nearby. Fun fact, some higher-end systems even allow panic buttons to trigger remote start-kill switches, giving you a bit of James Bond-level control in real life. What is this heavy black cylinder with a numbered top, once used to display a marble? A small but dense black cylinder with a ring inside the hole and a rotating numbered cap catches the eye. At first glance, it seems decorative, possibly a base for displaying something small and valuable. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a counterweight for a turntable tone arm, essential for vinyl playback. It balances the tone arm and adjusts the stylus pressure, known as tracking force, to keep the needle perfectly aligned with the record grooves. The numbered dial allows precise adjustments depending on the cartridge and record type. These are especially common in high-end or vintage audio setups, where fine-tuning weight can dramatically affect sound quality. Fun fact, too much weight, you risk wearing down your records. Too little, the needle skips. Audiophiles swear it's all in the grams. What is this mid-century oak cart with a serial number? Used for firewood, maybe? This well-built oak cart has heavy-duty wheels and a serial number stamped on the frame. It seems tough enough for hauling firewood, but that's not its actual role. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a mid-century book cart, once common in libraries, schools, and hospitals. The slanted surfaces are designed to keep books upright during transport, while the solid oak construction made them durable under heavy loads. The serial number suggests it was part of an institutional inventory system. What looks like a rustic firewood hauler is actually a rolling shelf of knowledge. Fun fact, vintage library carts like this are now repurposed by book lovers and designers alike. Some turned into mobile bars, plant stands, or even vinyl record displays. What are these two white plastic notched holders with short screws? These plain white plastic brackets, each with notches and tiny screws, seem like general hardware pieces, but their true use is quite specific. Does anyone know what this could be? These are support brackets for a dual fan window unit. They help secure the fan within a window frame or onto a detachable base. The short screws fit into pre-threaded slots in the unit's frame, offering just enough grip to hold everything stable without damaging the window or fan. They're designed for quick installation, easy adjustment, and a snug fit, essential for cooling comfort without the rattle. Fun fact, some DIYers repurpose these brackets to stabilize lightweight gear shelves or even solar panel stands. Just don't expect them to hold up a bookshelf. What is this small, wooden-handled stone tool with an arrowhead-shaped end? A rugged, compact tool turned up in a box of fur trapping gear in Quebec. With a wooden handle and an arrowhead-like stone end, it looks part ancient artifact, part outdoor utility. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a trapper's sharpening stone, crafted for on-the-go maintenance of blades, traps, and tools. The stone's pointed shape helps sharpen corners and small edges, perfect for intricate trap mechanisms or skinning knives, small enough to carry in a pouch, durable enough for serious field work. In remote trapping regions, such tools weren't luxuries, they were lifelines. Fun fact, some stones were hand-knapped to fit the trapper's grip, making them a blend of tool and personal craftsmanship. A sharp edge, after all, could mean dinner or disappointment. What is this pink see-through device with a number dial and circuit board? Found bundled with a Sony CyberShot camera bought online, this mysterious pink plastic device immediately raises eyebrows. It's transparent, revealing a small circuit board inside. It has two swiveling arms, a number dial, and a clip-like top, but no input or output ports, and seemingly no place for batteries. Some sort of wall plug suggests it's meant to be powered, but what exactly is it? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a universal battery charger, often included as an accessory with digital cameras, especially in aftermarket bundles. The adjustable arms are designed to make contact with a wide range of battery types, especially lithium-ion camera batteries. The dial lets you align the contacts precisely. Once clamped, the charger passes current directly to the battery terminals. It's an elegant, albeit slightly intimidating solution for charging batteries when the original charger is missing. Fun fact, despite their versatility, these chargers often come without instructions, which makes figuring them out almost a puzzle. Battery charging, but make it an escape room. What is this heavy glass and metal frame, possibly from a thrift shop? Measuring about 39 by 31 inches, this imposing piece features thick glass, padded backing, screw holes, and a heavy metal frame. It was donated to a local thrift store and now leans upright in the shop, though no one's quite sure that's how it's meant to sit. Some guess it's a screen, others wonder if it's a lid of some kind. But where would it go? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a glass front panel for a fireplace, typically part of a built-in or insert fireplace system. The padding helps seal it against heat and smoke leakage, while the screw holes allow it to be securely mounted. These panels serve both safety and aesthetic purposes, shielding against sparks while letting the fire's glow shine through. Its heft and dimensions suggest it was made for a permanent home installation. Fun fact, a well-placed glass fireplace panel can raise a home's resale value. Plus, it lets you enjoy the fire without sacrificing your eyebrows. What is this curious wooden object, crafted entirely from a single piece of wood? It has a sturdy shaft and culminates in an unusual offset hammer-like head or knob at one end. Its appearance is rustic, almost primal, leaving its purpose unclear. Was it a tool for some specific craft, a decorative item with a forgotten meaning, or perhaps something designed for a more forceful application? Found without any context, its unique shape sparks curiosity. Does anyone recognize this intriguing wooden piece? This formidable item is identified as a shillelag, pronounced shillelagh, a traditional Irish stick or club. Often made from tough blackthorn or oak wood, the characteristic knob is actually the root end, providing weight and impact. While sometimes presented as a simple walking stick, the shillelagh has a well-known history as a form of self-defense or a weapon used in settling disputes. Hence, the user's apt description of it being more rightly a whacking stick. These aren't just random pieces of wood. They are potent symbols of Irish heritage and resilience, often intricately carved or passed down through generations. So, it's a walking stick with a punch. Discovered in an old industrial building, this heavy metal cage contains what appear to be resistors inside. Notably, there's a welding symbol marked near some connections on the exterior. It looks rugged, vintage, and certainly industrial, but what exactly is its function? The internal components and the symbol hint at electrical work, possibly high-power applications. Is it some kind of power supply, a transformer, or a specific piece of manufacturing equipment from a bygone era? What could this metallic beast be? This intriguing device is actually an old arc welder. The connection point marked with the welding symbol is where the electrode lead, the part that holds the welding rod, would plug in. Those sliding components secured with wing nuts are voltage taps connected to the internal transformer. Adjusting them allows the user to crudely set the welding voltage and amperage output. While primitive by today's standards, lacking fine controls, this design is incredibly simple and robust. Chances are, despite its age and basic nature, it probably still works perfectly fine for basic welding tasks. What is this lightweight yet strong plastic item found floating near a lake shoreline after a storm? It features peculiar, identical, parallel, opposite-facing hooks on what seems to be the bottom. The other end sports a shape reminiscent of a large bottle opener mechanism. Its design seems functional, perhaps for clipping or attaching something, but its specific purpose remains a mystery, especially given its watery discovery location. Could it be part of marine equipment, discarded hardware, or something else washed loose by the weather? This sturdy plastic piece is an insulator used for electric fencing. While the exact name might vary, its primary function is to securely hold the electrified wire while preventing the electrical current from grounding out through the fence post it's attached to. The hooks are designed to grip the wire firmly, and the opposite end, resembling a bottle opener, is likely shaped to easily clip or mount onto common types of fence posts, like metal T-posts. Finding one near a lake suggests it could have washed downstream from nearby farmland or pasture, where electric fences are frequently used to contain livestock. Washed up on a beach in Ishigaki, Okinawa, this large chunk of aluminum measures about 1.5 square meters. Its most striking feature is the intricate honeycomb structure visible within. There are also remnants of a light brown material, possibly fiberglass, suggesting it was once attached to a larger assembly. Given the location and the advanced construction technique, what could this piece be from? Could it be debris from an aircraft, a boat, or perhaps something more exotic that fell from the sky? The key identifier here is the aluminum honeycomb structure. This type of construction provides exceptional strength and rigidity while remaining incredibly lightweight, making it a hallmark of aerospace engineering. Therefore, this debris is almost certainly related to spaceflight. It could be a fragment from a rocket fairing, a satellite component, or part of a launch vehicle stage. Honeycomb panels are widely used in spacecraft to minimize weight without compromising structural integrity. Finding such a piece washed ashore is rare and points towards an origin far beyond terrestrial vehicles. What is this simple metal bar that was unexpectedly left on someone's driveway? It appears solid, utilitarian, and lacks any complex features or markings. It's clearly a tool of some kind, designed for leverage or turning something specific, but what exactly? It doesn't immediately resemble common household tools. Could it be automotive, related to construction, or perhaps used for a specific utility service? Its sudden appearance on a driveway only adds to the puzzle. Who might have left it, and what is its purpose? This straightforward metal bar is identified as a tool specifically designed for shutting off the main water valve, typically located at the water meter base near the street or property line. Utility workers, plumbers, or sometimes homeowners use these T-handle tools to reach down into the meter box and turn the valve, which often requires significant torque and a specific key shape found at the tool's end. Its presence on the driveway suggests a recent visit from the water company or a plumber who might have accidentally left it behind after performing maintenance or service work. This quirky item features a rubber squirrel with a removable tail. The tail itself has holes in it, and the whole assembly seems designed to clip onto a flat surface, perhaps the rim of a cup or mug. It's whimsical and clearly intended for use with liquids, but what is its specific function? Is it a drink stirrer, a decorative piece, or does it serve a more practical purpose related to beverage preparation? The holes in the tail are a key clue. This charming rubber squirrel is actually a tea infuser. The removable tail is designed to be filled with loose tea leaves. Once filled and reattached, the entire squirrel is clipped onto the rim of a mug, allowing the tail to dangle into hot water. The holes in the tail permit water to circulate through the leaves, brewing the tea while keeping the leaves contained. It's a fun and functional take on a traditional tea ball or strainer, adding a touch of novelty to the tea-making process. Someone found this intriguing object, which looks like a spoon that has been modified into some sort of cutting tool, possibly with a razor edge. The grandmother suggested it might be trench art, but searches for spoons turned into razors yielded nothing. The handle resembles a spoon, but the end is adapted to hold a blade. What could this unusual tool be used for? Is it for a specific craft, a makeshift tool, or something else entirely? This tool is identified as a lame, pronounced lam, a specialized utensil used by bakers. Its purpose is to make shallow cuts, or scores, on the surface of bread dough right before it's placed in the oven. These scores aren't just decorative, they strategically control how the loaf expands during baking, allowing steam to escape and preventing the crust from bursting unpredictably. This particular lame appears to be missing the actual razor blade, which would be inserted into the holder. It's a crucial tool for achieving artisanal bread with a beautiful crust and proper rise. Observed in a local church, this sturdy wooden chair is of regular size, but features an unusual addition: a vertical wooden post, positioned on the stretcher bar connecting the legs below the seat. The chair itself seems standard, but this post stands out. What could its purpose be? It doesn't seem structural or purely decorative. Given the church setting, could it have a specific liturgical function, or perhaps a more practical, everyday use related to churchgoers' attire? The most plausible explanation for this vertical wooden post on the chair's undercarriage is that it serves as a simple hat stand or holder. In times when hats were common daily wear, especially for church services, attendees needed a place to put their hats without placing them on the floor or holding them. This post would allow someone, particularly a gentleman, to conveniently hang their hat by its brim underneath their seat, keeping it off the ground and out of the way during the service. A practical solution from a bygone era. Included with a handmade notebook featuring tissue paper and dried plants on the cover was a sleeve containing small folded paper triangles or pyramids. They seem precisely made, but their purpose isn't immediately obvious. Are they related to the notebook's construction, a decorative element, or something intended for use with the notebook itself? Their triangular folded shape is distinctive. What could these little paper pyramids be for? These small folded paper triangles are almost certainly photo corners. They are adhesive-backed, usually on the underside, and designed to hold photographs or other flat items, like postcards or clippings, onto the pages of a scrapbook or album, such as the included handmade notebook. You slide the corners of the photo into the pockets of the paper triangles, which are then stuck to the page. This method allows items to be mounted securely without applying adhesive directly to the photo itself, preserving the original item. They are a classic scrapbooking accessory. Found in a house in Germany, likely dating back to around the 1960s or earlier, this object features a steel handle and a two-part extendable spring mechanism, making it flexible. The bottom is marked SIPO, along with some worn, unreadable letters. It feels like a tool or perhaps some kind of defensive implement, but its exact identity and the significance of the SIPO marking are unclear. What is this extendable, springy steel device? This object is identified as a baton or truncheon, specifically one associated with the SIPO, Sicherheitspolizei. The SIPO was the security police force in Nazi Germany, operating between 1936 and 1939, comprising the Gestapo, secret state police, and the Kripo, criminal police, under Heinrich Himmler. These types of flexible, extendable batons, sometimes called steel springs or blackjacks, were used as compliance tools or weapons by police and security forces. Finding one marked SIPO strongly links it to this historical organization, making it a rather grim relic from a dark period. What is this small glass tube, discovered unexpectedly in a shared clothes dryer? It has a flared base and features what looks like a photo or image of a man printed on it. Intriguingly, it also has two indentations on opposite sides that go most of the way through the glass wall. Its small size and specific features, especially the indentations, suggest a specialized purpose. Could it be part of lab equipment, a decorative piece, or something else entirely? This small glass tube is identified as a glass filter tip, primarily used for hand-rolled cannabis cigarettes, joints, or similar rolled smokables. The user slides the rolled cigarette into the longer, narrower end. The flared base serves as the mouthpiece, providing a smoother draw and preventing direct contact with the burning material. The indentations, often called pinches, act as a block to prevent small pieces of herb from being inhaled. These reusable glass tips are popular among cannabis users for a cooler, cleaner smoking experience. The image is likely just a decorative brand element. Spotted a few meters off a gravel road in the French countryside near an abandoned uranium mining site is this intriguing setup: a metal cage containing a white electrical box connected by cables to a cooler. A puppy provides scale, indicating the cage isn't enormous. Given the proximity to a former uranium mine, what could this apparatus be monitoring? The combination of cage, electrical components, and a cooler suggests some kind of scientific measurement device left in the field. This setup is almost certainly a type of dosimeter, a device used to measure exposure to ionizing radiation or other environmental factors. Given the location near an old uranium mine, the most likely target is radon gas, a radioactive decay product of uranium commonly found in such areas. The caged electrical box likely houses the detection sensors and data logging equipment, while the cooler probably contains batteries to power the system for extended periods in the remote location. It's a field monitoring station, assessing potential residual radiation levels. This archival photo from the early 1970s shows a peculiar pink fabric item. It features stirrups on either side and a white fabric cord with D-rings at one end, seemingly for lacing or fastening. Initial guesses, like a baby bouncer, seem unlikely. What could this unusual fabric contraption with stirrups be? It looks like something worn or used for play, possibly involving a child and an adult. The design is specific and suggests a particular activity. This nostalgic piece of fabric gear is identified as a daddy saddle. It's essentially a padded cushion designed to be worn on an adult's back, usually the father's, hence the name, while giving a child a horsey ride as the adult crawls on their hands and knees. The stirrups are for the child's feet, and the lacing system helps secure the saddle comfortably on the adult's back, providing padding for both rider and horse. It's a fun, if somewhat dated, accessory designed to make playtime a bit more comfortable for the grown-up involved. Found at a thrift store, this handmade wooden object operates somewhat like a dead blow mallet, but has a peculiar internal mechanism. A plug covers a plate, and when swung, this plate presumably pushes forward to strike the wood. Found in Colorado alongside a heavily used normal mallet, its purpose is baffling. Is it a specialized tool, a toy, or something else entirely? The mechanism seems overly complex for a simple mallet. What could this unique wooden contraption be? Despite its mallet-like appearance and dead blow-style operation, this unique wooden device is ingeniously suggested to be a fancy, handmade, fun nutcracker. The mechanism, where swinging causes an internal part to strike forward, could be designed to crack nuts placed within a designated spot. Instead of squeezing or screwing, you'd whack the nut open with the internal hammer. It's likely someone crafted it more for amusement and novelty than for pure efficiency. It's the kind of whimsical, entertaining gadget someone might make just for the fun of it, a nutcracker with a bit of flair. Discovered in the basement of a deceased electrical engineer who had worked for GE and possessed documents related to military technology, this object resembles some kind of cap or machine part. It's labeled Surface to Air and bears the serial number OAC978758. Text around the rim reads CA3106ES32-7P F42 Cannon. Given the context and markings, it clearly seems military related, but what is its specific function? Could it be part of a missile system like the suggested XM75 grenade launcher? This object is identified not as part of a grenade launcher, but as a training electrical plug, specifically associated with the Nike Hercules surface-to-air missile system. Plugs like this, with specific military part numbers, like the OAC number provided, which cross-references to federal stock number 59358825019, were used for simulating connections and completing circuits in the missile's warhead section during training exercises or testing procedures. They allow personnel to practice handling and connecting components without involving live ordnance. It's a piece of Cold War-era military training equipment. Found in a thrift shop, this imposing steel structure stands about 4 feet tall. It features numerous knobs, tempered glass portholes, apparent gas feeds, and slim internal rods with holes, possibly venturis. It seems robustly built, designed to withstand high pressures, and is made of stainless steel. Despite its complex appearance, its purpose is elusive. What could this substantial, precisely engineered piece of equipment be? A thrift store seems an unlikely place for such an item. Based on the description, stainless steel construction, portholes, gas feeds, and design suggesting pressure tolerance, this is likely a vacuum chamber or a significant part of one. Such chambers are used in various scientific and industrial processes requiring a vacuum environment, like materials testing, coating deposition, or experiments. The mention of a Pfeiffer pump, a common vacuum pump manufacturer, and the high value of the raw stainless steel reinforce this identification. It's an extraordinary find for a thrift store, potentially worth thousands in materials alone. The item inside, just a stray shake weight. Dating from around 1730 and found in a grandmother's attic, this small container measures approximately 7 by 3 by 3 centimeters. It's about 2 by 1 by 1 inches. It comes with a tiny spoon and features a glass insert within the main body. Given its age, small size, and the presence of a spoon, what was this little receptacle used for? It seems too small for many common condiments, suggesting a specific, possibly valuable substance was stored inside. This antique container is identified as a salt cellar. Before the advent of modern free-flowing salt and shakers, salt was often coarser and kept in small open dishes or lidded containers like this one on the dining table. The accompanying miniature spoon was used to serve the salt onto one's plate or food. The glass insert helped protect the outer material, often silver or other metals, from the corrosive effects of the salt. Salt cellars were common table accessories for centuries, especially among wealthier households, reflecting the historical value of salt. Inside the battery compartment of a toy train, instead of batteries, these roughly 1-inch long metal tube-like things were found. They seem solid and heavy for their size. Why would these be placed where batteries are supposed to go? The train wasn't working, which prompted the investigation. Are they some kind of placeholder, a different type of power source, or do they serve another function entirely within the toy train? These solid metal pieces are not power sources, but are actually weights. In some toy trains, especially those designed to run on tracks, weights like these are intentionally placed inside the carriage, often in the battery compartment area if it's conveniently located, to increase the overall weight. This added weight helps the train maintain better friction and contact between its wheels, particularly the driven wheels like the yellow one mentioned, and the track rails, preventing derailment and ensuring smoother operation. They are essentially ballast to improve the toy's performance. Found mounted on the wall in the master bedroom of a newly acquired house, between the closet and bathroom, is this small object measuring about 1.5 by 1.5 inches. When opened or activated, it protrudes about an inch from the wall. Its function isn't immediately clear, and its placement on a bedroom wall seems odd. What is this small mechanism, and why would someone install it there? This small device is identified as a sliding door or window lock, specifically the type often used for patio doors or windows. These locks are typically mounted on the frame and have a part that swings or slides out to physically block the door or window from opening, providing an extra layer of security. Why it's mounted randomly on a bedroom wall remains a mystery. Perhaps a previous occupant installed it there nonsensically, intended to use it for something else entirely, or removed the door to window it was meant for and left the lock behind. This ceramic dish, which came as part of a set with vases, features a distinct raised cup in the center and a removable cork plug. The shape suggests a serving purpose, but what exactly? The central cup seems ideal for holding something, while the surrounding moat could hold accompanying items. Is it an ashtray, a planter, or a specific type of serving dish? The maker's stamp might hold a clue. This piece is identified as a classic mid-1970s chip and dip serving bowl made by Ting Keramik, a Danish pottery studio run by Henning Rasmussen from 1968-2000. The design is highly functional. The raised central cup is intended for the dip, like salsa, hummus, or queso, while the wide surrounding moat is perfect for holding chips, crackers, or vegetable sticks. It's definitely not an ashtray or salt cellar based on its shape and full interior glaze. This stoneware piece embodies the simple, functional Japanese Scandinavian aesthetic popular at the time and is a cool piece of vintage Danish design, perfect for snacks. Found at a school, this object weighs under 1 kilos and has high magnification when looked through. Most distinctively, it features a reticle, crosshairs or similar markings, visible through the eyepiece. It appears to be some kind of optical instrument, possibly for surveying, measuring, or aiming, but its specific identity isn't clear from the description alone. What kind of magnified reticle-equipped device might be found at a school? This optical instrument is identified simply as a level, specifically an optical level or surveyor's level. These instruments are used in construction, surveying, and engineering to establish or verify points in the same horizontal plane. The high magnification allows users to accurately sight distant targets, like a leveling rod, and the reticle provides precise aiming points. While modern digital and laser levels exist, traditional optical levels are still widely used and are common tools found in schools with technical, engineering, or construction programs. While digging in the back garden of a Victorian-era terraced house to prepare for turfing, a thick red slab was uncovered buried underground. It's approximately 15 centimeters, 6 inches thick, and features a hole cut out in one corner. So far, attempts to move it have failed due to its apparent weight and size. What could this substantial buried slab with a corner hole be? Its age and location suggest it might be a remnant of past utility or garden features. This buried red slab is likely either an old water trough or, more specifically, a type of large, robust sink, often called a Belfast sink, or sometimes a London sink. These were common fixtures in homes and gardens during the Victorian era, typically made from fired clay, like terracotta, hence the red color, or stone. They served various purposes, from laundry and washing to animal watering troughs. The hole in the corner would be for drainage. Being buried suggests it was discarded or repurposed long ago, possibly as part of a drainage system or simply filled over. After hearing a noise from the garbage disposal reaching inside, safely, revealed this flat, lightweight metal object. It has a distinct lip with a curved end. There are no obvious holes suggesting it was attached to something, and no edges appear broken, though it bears marks from the disposal. It doesn't seem to be part of the disposal unit itself. What could this small, lipped metal piece be from? This small metal piece is identified as one of the feet from a metal colander. Many metal colanders stand on 3 or 4 small feet that are typically spot welded to the bottom of the bowl. These feet often have a shape similar to the one described, with a flat base and a curved lip where they attach. Over time, the welds can fail, causing a foot to detach. Checking your metal colander for a missing foot and looking for 2 small dots where the welds used to be would likely confirm this identification. Found near railroad tracks, this heavy ring-shaped object is substantial enough to be compared in scale to a child's Crocs shoe. Its location near a railway suggests a connection to trains or track maintenance, but its specific function isn't obvious. Is it a discarded part from a train car, a piece of signaling equipment, or a tool used for working on the tracks? Its weight and ring shape are key clues. This heavy ring-shaped object is identified as a rail grinding stone. These abrasive stones are components of specialized track maintenance machinery used to grind the surface of railroad rails. Grinding removes small imperfections, smooths the running surface, corrects the rail profile, and eliminates defects caused by wear and tear. This maintenance extends the life of the rails and ensures safer, smoother train operation. These stones wear down over time and are eventually discarded, which is likely why this one was found near the tracks. What is this red, bowl-shaped silicone object with a raised center? For years, this odd red silicone item has lived in the family's container cabinet. It's bowl-shaped with a strange bump in the center. Every now and then, someone rediscovers it, speculates wildly, then gives up. Guesses have included a dip and chips tray or a baking mold, but its unusual shape and soft texture defy easy classification. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a silicone insert for a microwave popcorn system. It's designed to fit inside a specific popper setup, where the raised center promotes even popping and prevents kernels from burning. The flexible silicone helps manage heat, and the shallow outer ring collects the popped corn. While it may look like it belongs at a Super Bowl party, it's actually engineered for snack science. Fun fact, microwave popcorn systems with silicone inserts are often dishwasher safe and oil optional, so it's healthier and your cabinet mystery is finally solved. What is this metal toolbox full of tiny vials, rods, and colorful pieces? Inside an old metal box lies a treasure trove of miniature hardware, long metal rods, knobs, tiny labeled vials filled with parts of various colors. One assembled component looks like a control knob, and there's even a model number, CRL028008. It seems like something from a vintage workshop or a hobbyist's stash, but no one's quite sure what all the pieces are for. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a rotary switch kit manufactured by CRL, Centralab. It's used to assemble custom rotary switches, which allow users to select among multiple circuits using a single rotating mechanism. The kit includes parts for different numbers of positions and poles, letting technicians or DIYers build switches for specific needs, perfect for restoring old radios, amps, or industrial controls. Fun fact, in the 1960s and 70s, Centralab was the go-to for switch hardware. If you've ever used a vintage amp with a satisfying click, this kit might be why. Found in a surplus store, this complex and precisely machined visual instrument is clearly missing components. It features a large bottom lens that is see-through without magnification and a smaller top lens, eyepiece, that shows a smaller, inverted and mirrored image with a black dot in the center. It looks like part of a larger scientific or technical apparatus. What specific type of optical instrument could this be the head of? This intricate optical component is identified as the head, or eyepiece assembly, of a microscope. The description matches the typical function. The bottom lens would normally connect to the objective lens turret of the microscope body, and the eyepiece provides the final magnification, often showing an inverted image, which is normal for many compound microscopes. The black dot might be part of a reticle for measuring or pointing. Surplus stores often receive incomplete scientific equipment, making finds like this. A high-quality but partial microscope head, quite common. This couch, owned for years, has a perplexing folding mechanism built into its back frame. When folded down, it seems to serve some purpose, but leaving it folded makes the back cushions sit uncomfortably without proper support. What is the intended function of this folding part integrated into the couch's structure? It doesn't seem to enhance comfort or offer storage. This folding mechanism isn't intended for use once the sofa is assembled in your home. It's purely for shipping and storage efficiency. When folded down, it makes the back of the sofa base flush with the height of the arms. This allows the sofa, and potentially the detached cushions placed on the seat, to form a more compact rectangular block. This minimizes the space the sofa takes up during transport from the manufacturer to the retailer and then to your home, saving on shipping costs and making storage easier. Once set up, it should remain unfolded. What is this small cup-like object featuring a prominent slot in its side? The design suggests it's meant to hold or dispense something specific that comes in a roll or strip, allowing it to be fed out through the slot. But what exactly? It seems too small for tape or labels. Could it be related to crafting, office supplies, or some other specific task? This small slotted cup is identified as a dispenser for postage stamps that come in rolls. Before self-adhesive stamps became ubiquitous, stamps were often sold in coils or rolls, typically with perforations between them. This type of dispenser would hold the roll inside, and the user could feed the end of the stamp strip through the side slot, tearing off stamps as needed. It provided a convenient way to store and access rolled stamps, keeping them tidy and preventing the roll from unraveling. Found in a miscellaneous bag at a thrift store, these small boxes are made of brass and silver-colored metal and are lined with velvet fabric. They seem too tiny for typical jewelry storage. Online searches haven't yielded results. What are these small, lined metal boxes intended for, and where might they originate from? Their size and materials suggest a specific purpose or origin. These small, ornate containers are identified as pill, trinket, or small jewelry boxes originating from India or Pakistan. A very common decorative element for these boxes, especially on the lids, involves using inlaid pieces of dyed camel bone, often arranged in intricate patterns. They come in various sizes and levels of ornateness and are frequently lined with velvet-like fabric in colors such as purple, burgundy, or black. Being handmade, their lids often don't close perfectly smoothly. While charming and common souvenirs or thrift finds, they are typically not considered highly valuable. What is this device that emits a purple light when turned on and tilted downward? The light automatically turns off when the device is tilted back to a vertical position. This behavior suggests a safety mechanism or a specific mode of operation tied to its orientation. What could this purple light-emitting object be used for? Is it a type of flashlight, a signaling device, or something related to sanitation or inspection? This device is identified as a UV sanitizing wand. It emits ultraviolet, specifically UVC light, which is known to kill bacteria and viruses on surfaces. The purple glow is often a visible byproduct or indicator light. The tilt sensor is a crucial safety feature. It ensures the powerful UV light only activates when pointed downwards towards a surface, preventing accidental exposure to the user's eyes or skin, as UVC light can be harmful. These wands became popular for quickly disinfecting small objects or surfaces. While driving in a college parking lot, a tire was instantly punctured and deflated by running over this small, hollow metal tube. The air hissed right out through the tube. What could this specific type of hollow metal tube be? Its ability to puncture a tire suggests it's relatively sturdy, and its hollow nature is distinctive. Could it be part of a pen, a small tool, or something else entirely? This small, hollow metal tube is identified as the internal component of a THC or nicotine vape cartridge or disposable vape pen. These devices heat liquid containing THC or nicotine, and the vapor is inhaled through a central metal tube like this one. When discarded improperly, these sturdy metal tubes can unfortunately end up on the ground and are rigid enough to puncture a tire if run over at the right angle. Its discovery in a college parking lot aligns with the common use of such vaping products. This carved wooden stick, about 29 centimeters long, has perplexed its owner for years. It features a hole, some green felt lining part of it, and a screw embedded inside. The combination of elements is unusual: wood carving, felt, a screw, and a hole. What could this intriguing object be? It doesn't immediately resemble a common tool or decorative item. The specific arrangement suggests a functional purpose. Despite its somewhat disguised appearance, this carved wooden stick is identified as a bottle opener, likely a fancier or souvenir version. The key functional parts are the hole and the embedded screw. The hole likely fits over the bottle cap, while the edge near the screw acts as the lever point to pry the cap off. The green felt might be purely decorative or intended to provide a better grip or protect the bottle. It's a more stylized take on the simple function of opening a capped bottle, perhaps designed to look like something else at first glance. Found with unclear origins, this small metal object features spikes and rings. Its appearance is reminiscent of fishing tackle, perhaps designed to attract fish, but its exact function, or how it would be rigged, isn't obvious. The combination of shiny metal, spikes, and rings suggests movement and attraction in water. What specific type of fishing gear could this be? This small, spiky, ringed metal object is indeed a type of fishing lure, specifically a spinner or part of a spinner rig. The shiny, often rotating components are designed to catch light and create vibrations in the water, mimicking the movement of small prey fish and attracting larger, predatory fish. The rings are attachment points for the fishing line and potentially hooks. While the exact configuration isn't clear, it's meant to be tied between the main fishing line and the hook, adding flash and action to entice a bite. This 4-inch metal object was found among other beer-related items and is clearly marked Pabst Brewing CO and Richmond, VA branch. While Google Lens suggested button hooks, its context and brewery marking strongly imply a connection to beverages. How would this tool have been used, likely to open a beer container from the era associated with the Richmond branch? It doesn't look like a standard bottle opener. This Pabst Brewing Comber branded metal tool served a dual purpose, common before modern pull tabs and twist-off caps. One end, often pointed or hooked, was used to puncture and lift the triangular tabs on old-style flat-top beer cans, requiring 2 holes, one to drink, one for air. The other end, typically a flatter, wider hook, was likely designed for prying open paint can lids, a surprisingly common secondary function for these types of promotional brewery giveaways. It's a vintage tool for opening both beer and paint cans. Received as part of branded swag, this item consists of a small rubber roller attached to what looks like an earbud case, though likely just a holder. What is the purpose of this little roller? It seems too small for lint removal from clothes and is paired with tech-related branding. Could it be for cleaning or applying something? Its specific design suggests a targeted function. This small rubber roller, often attached to a branded holder resembling an earbud case, is designed as a screen cleaner for phones, tablets, or other electronic devices with smooth displays. The slightly tacky or smooth rubber surface picks up fingerprints, dust, and smudges as it's rolled across the screen. Some might be washable and reusable. It's a common and practical promotional item, swag, given away by companies, offering a handy way to keep device screens clean on the go. Found shredded in the grass after mowing the lawn, this object originally consisted of a copper tube about 3 inches long with flared ends. Inside was a glass bead and a spring. The mower impact revealed the internal components. The arrangement of the bead and spring inside the tube suggests some kind of valve mechanism, possibly pressure activated. What could this small copper device with internal bead and spring be? This device is identified as the working end of a shake, or jiggle, siphon starter. This type of siphon works by rapidly moving the end, containing the glass bead valve up and down while submerged in the liquid you want to siphon. The movement causes the bead to act as a one-way valve, pumping liquid up into the hose until gravity takes over and the siphon flows continuously. The copper tube houses the valve mechanism, and the flared ends likely helped with flow and connection to a hose. Standing approximately 30 centimeters, about 1 foot tall, these objects feature a glass bulb that twists off. Shaking them gently produces no sound from within. Their shape resembles candlesticks, but the removable bulb and lack of obvious candle holder are puzzling. Are they miniature oil lamps, decorative items, or perhaps a specific type of candlestick with a hidden mechanism? These are identified as spring-loaded candlesticks, sometimes called follower or courtier candlesticks. Inside the main shaft, hidden beneath the removable bulb or cap, is a spring mechanism. You insert a standard tapered candle into the shaft, and the spring pushes the candle upwards as it burns down, keeping the flame at a relatively constant height. The glass bulb or cap likely covers the wick top when not in use, or might be part of the aesthetic design. This design ensures a consistent look and potentially reduces wax dripping. Found on a shelf in an Airbnb closet in Florida, this odd wooden box has a glass lid and features 2 rotating holders lined with cushy foam pads inside. It includes a power adapter and multiple switches. Plugging it in and fiddling with the switches didn't produce any obvious action, but the rotating pads suggest it's meant to hold and move something delicate. What is this powered, rotating display box? This device is an automatic watch winder. It's designed specifically for automatic, self-winding wristwatches. These watches contain a mechanism that winds the mainspring using the motion of the wearer's wrist. When not worn, the watch will eventually stop. The watch winder simulates this motion by slowly rotating the watch S placed on the padded holders. The multiple switches likely control rotation direction, duration, and frequency, turns per day, to suit different watch models. It keeps automatic watches wound and ready to wear, especially for collectors with multiple timepieces. Found in a washing machine, likely having fallen out of someone's pocket, this small plastic object is about 1 inch long. It features a soft, flexible gray rubber spike that inserts into the main plastic body. The flat side is marked with the number 209. Its small size and combination of hard plastic and soft rubber suggest it's a protective cap or plug for some kind of electronic connector. What specific connector might this fit? This small plastic and rubber item is identified as a protective dust cover, commonly used for various types of fiber optic connectors, such as V-pin connectors. The main plastic part, sometimes referred to as the sock, would slip over the male plug, while the pointed, soft rubber spike inserts snugly into the fiber optic port or the end of the connector itself. This prevents dust, dirt, and moisture from contaminating the delicate optical surfaces, which is crucial for maintaining signal integrity in fiber optic systems. The number 209 is likely a part or mold number. Discovered in the kitchen, this translucent plastic container feels like thicker Tupperware and features a very tight screw-on top. Its shape and material suggest food storage or preparation, but the extremely secure lid is notable. What is this specific type of container designed for? Is it for liquids, solids, or a particular process like freezing or fermenting? This container is identified as a freeze and squeeze type popsicle or ice pop mold. You fill the container with juice, yogurt, or other liquids, screw the tight lid on, and place it in the freezer. Once frozen solid, the tight lid prevents leaks and freezer burn. To eat the popsicle, you unscrew the lid and gently squeeze the flexible plastic container from the bottom, pushing the frozen treat upwards. They are reusable alternatives to disposable popsicle wrappers. Found at the bottom of a small hiking backpack, this object is about 1 inch square, made of black plastic, and has a round magnet embedded in the middle. It's lightweight and has no markings, but looks like it clips onto something. While found in a hiker's backpack, it doesn't immediately resemble typical camping or hiking gear components. What could this magnetic clip be for? This small magnetic clip is specifically designed as part of a hydration pack system. It usually comes in 2 parts. One piece clips onto the shoulder strap of the backpack, and the other, like the one found, clips onto the drinking hose of the hydration reservoir, water bladder. The magnets hold the drinking hose securely to the shoulder strap, keeping the mouthpiece easily accessible for the hiker and preventing the hose from dangling or flopping around during activity. It's a common accessory for convenient hands-free hydration. Unexpectedly found inside a chewy box containing a crate pad, this heavy metal object is arrowhead-shaped and weighs almost a pound. Handling it leaves black crud, likely rust or grime, on the hands. A kiwi provides scale. Why would such a heavy, industrial-looking metal piece be in a box from Chewy, a pet supply company? What is its actual purpose? This heavy, arrowhead-shaped metal object is identified as a scraper, or shank, from a Brillion brand agricultural cultivator. Cultivators are farm implements used to till soil, remove weeds, and prepare seed beds. These scraper points are the ground-engaging parts that break up the soil. How it ended up in a Chewy box is a complete mystery. Perhaps it fell into the box during shipping at a warehouse, or it was part of a reused box. It's definitely an odd companion for a pet crate pad. These small white plastic pieces are marked LH and RH, suggesting they are part of a left-right pair. They appear to be housings or covers for some kind of mechanism, possibly related to furniture or equipment. Their shape isn't immediately recognizable. What could these paired plastic covers be for? These components are identified as caster covers specifically designed for hospital beds. Casters are the wheels that allow the bed to be moved. These plastic covers snap or fit over the caster assembly, serving multiple purposes. They provide a more aesthetic, finished look. They protect the caster mechanism from dirt, dust, and impacts, and they can help prevent snagging on bedding or cables. The LH and RH markings ensure they are fitted correctly to the corresponding sides of the bed's caster system. What is this object described as a round, fabric bag-like thing with a small slit in the side? The description is minimal, but the combination of fabric, a round shape, and a slit suggests it might be designed to hold something inside or interact with something specific. What could this simple fabric item be? Based on the brief description, this round fabric item with a slit is likely a type of cat toy holder or puzzle ball. Owners often place catnip or small crinkly toys inside the fabric ball through the slit. The cat is then encouraged to bat, chase, and manipulate the ball to try and get the enticing item out, providing mental stimulation and playtime engagement. The fabric material is safe for cats to play with, and the simple design is effective for this purpose. Someone was unexpectedly handed this small, red glass object, about 1 inch long. It contains tiny air bubbles and seems to have glitter mixed in. Upon closer inspection, there appear to be 2 spots on the larger end, where something might have broken off. The person who handed it over left immediately without explanation. What could this mysterious, possibly broken, red glass piece be? Given the red color, small size, and possible broken attachment points, this object is likely intended to be a glass representation of a heart. Small glass charms or figurines depicting hearts are common decorative items, sometimes used in jewelry, as pendants, or simply as small keepsakes. The glitter and air bubbles are typical inclusions in decorative glasswork. The broken spots might indicate where a loop for hanging was attached, or where it was connected to a larger piece. The odd circumstances of its delivery remain unexplained. This peculiar board, about 15 inches square and made of wood, features numerous small multicolored cubes. Each cube can be flipped independently to show a different color on its face. Markings on the back were unhelpful in online searches. What is this interactive wooden board with flippable colored cubes? It resembles some kind of game, art tool, or educational device. This intriguing wooden board is identified as a type of pixel art maker or creative pegboard toy, predating digital pixels. It functions similarly to toys like Light Bright, but without the light element. Users flip the small wooden cubes to create patterns, pictures, or designs by arranging the different colored faces. It's a tactile, manual way to create pixel-style art. These types of boards were popular as creative toys or decorative items, allowing for endless pattern combinations simply by flipping the cubes. Suddenly appearing on the kitchen table, this gray plastic object with a rubber grommet is about 2.5 inches tall and 1.5 inches wide at its broadest point. Neither resident knows where it came from. Its shape, with 2 arms on the sides, suggests it plugs into or caps something specific. What could this mystery plastic piece be? A plumber identifies this precisely. It's a plug for the dishwasher inlet port on a Moen brand garbage disposal unit. When a dishwasher is connected to a disposal, its drain hose attaches to this inlet. If no dishwasher is connected, this plug seals the port. Moen uses 2 types, a twist-on cap, and this style, where the 2 side arms click onto barbs on the inlet's exterior. Its sudden appearance suggests the homeowners recently had their garbage disposal replaced or serviced, and the plumber either forgot to install it, if no dishwasher, or left the old one behind. Installed inside wooden posts on either side of a footpath are these plastic boxes. Fixed bollards already prevent cars from using the path. What could these paired electronic boxes be monitoring? They don't seem like lighting or security cameras. Their placement facing each other across the path suggests they are tracking movement along it. These paired plastic boxes are almost certainly infrared beam people counters. One box emits an invisible infrared beam across the path to the receiver box on the other side. Each time someone walks through the path and breaks the beam, the counter registers it. Municipalities and park authorities use these counters, often placed near tourist areas, trails, or public facilities, to gather data on foot traffic volume. This information helps them plan maintenance, allocate resources, like garbage collection frequency based on usage, and understand how public spaces are being utilized. Present in an apartment since move-in, this silver orb, jokingly called a disco ball, is mounted near a lighting system and seems connected to electrical wiring. However, no switches in the room appear to control it, it makes no noise, and it's not a smoke detector. What is this mysterious silver sphere connected to the electrical system? This silver orb is identified as the transformer for an IKEA thermospheric low-voltage lighting system. These systems were popular for track lighting or spotlights, and the transformer steps down the standard household voltage to a lower voltage, suitable for the specialized bulbs. The spherical design was characteristic of the thermosphere line. The reason no switch seems to control it could be because the switch controls the outlet it's plugged into elsewhere, the switch is faulty, or the lighting system itself was removed, leaving only the transformer behind. Found during the renovation of a pub Cha brewery, this object is about 10 centimeters 4 inches long, appears to be made of plastic, and features a plunger mechanism with a hole in the bottom tip. Its design strongly suggests it's used for squirting or suctioning liquids. Given its potential age and discovery location, what might its specific purpose have been? This small, plunger-operated device is identified as an ear syringe. These tools were commonly used, and sometimes still are, though less frequently recommended by doctors today, for flushing out earwax or debris from the ear canal. Warm water, or a special solution, would be drawn into the syringe and then gently squirted into the ear to dislodge buildup. While finding one in a pub renovation is a bit unusual, they were once common household items for personal hygiene. Using an old one found like this is definitely not advised. Spotted on the roadside in rural France, specifically between Septfonds and Saint-Antonin-Noble-Val, are these small, dry stone structures. They stand about 6 to 8 feet high, 5 to 6 feet wide, and 4 to 5 feet deep, with small doorways roughly 20 inches high by 3 feet wide. They seem too small for human habitation, too deep for shrines, and unlike pigeon ears, dovecotes. What are these distinctive stone huts? These structures are identified as gazelles, characteristic dry stone huts, found particularly in the Causes limestone plateau regions of southern France, such as the Causse Méjean in Lozère, mentioned in a reference link. Historically, they served various purposes for shepherds and farmers, temporary shelters from the elements, storage for tools, or even housing for small animals. Built without mortar using local stone, their specific design varied, but the small size and robust construction are typical. They are historical, agricultural landscape features. Located in the stairway of an old Edinburgh tenement building, circa 1905, there's one of these levers on every floor. On the first floor, there's also a wooden square beneath it. The knob on the lever moves up and down with some resistance, but doesn't seem to do anything obvious. What is the purpose of these repeating levers in the stairwell? This lever is a mechanism for remotely opening the main front door of the tenement building. In many Victorian-era tenements, before electric intercoms and buzzers, visitors would call up to the desired apartment. The resident could then operate this lever, which was connected via a system of wires and pulleys, running down the stairwell to the latch on the ground floor entrance door. Pulling the lever would retract the latch, allowing the visitor to enter the building. A clever mechanical solution for multi-story living. Found on the wall of a townhouse, built in the mid-80s, next to the fireplace, are these two related electrical components. One is located higher up, above the fireplace, and the other is down near the baseboards to the right. They look like specialized electrical outlets or connections. What is this system, and what is it used for? The landlord wasn't sure. This setup is identified as an in-wall power extension system, likely a brand like PowerBridge. It's specifically designed to provide power to a wall-mounted flat-screen TV, or potentially speakers, without having unsightly cables running down the wall. The upper outlet is installed behind where the TV would mount, providing power and often connections for AV cables. The lower outlet connects to a standard wall socket and feeds power up through wiring hidden inside the wall cavity to the upper outlet. It creates a clean, professional-looking installation for wall-mounted electronics. Found amongst clothes taken out of a communal dryer, this small, 1.5-inch black plastic device resembles a tiny controller. It has a working power switch and a button often depicted with a camera icon. Its presence in laundry suggests it fell out of a pocket. What could this miniature remote control be for? This small plastic gadget is identified as a Bluetooth remote trigger, commonly bundled with selfie sticks. These simple remotes pair with a smartphone via Bluetooth and allow the user to trigger the phone's camera shutter remotely by pressing the button. This lets you take photos or stop video recording while the phone is mounted on the extended selfie stick without needing to set a timer or touch the screen. They are typically small, lightweight, and basic, featuring just a power switch, pairing function, and the trigger button. Standing about 3 feet tall, this wooden item features horizontal wooden pieces positioned partway up its frame. Its structure suggests it's designed to hold or store something specific, likely items that can rest on the horizontal supports. What is this wooden stand intended for? It doesn't look like a typical shelf or display unit. This wooden stand is identified as a holder or caddy for TV trays, also known as folding tray tables. These stands are designed to store a set of collapsible TV trays neatly when they are not in use. The folded trays would typically hook onto or rest against the horizontal wooden pieces, keeping them upright and organized. This particular stand seems designed for storing trays vertically, a common configuration for these convenient portable tables, often used for eating or working in front of the television. Found attached to the water hose, connected to a kitchen sink faucet, likely a pull-out or pull-down model, is this heavy black object, possibly made of plastic or coated metal, described as a clasp. What is the purpose of this weight, clamped onto the faucet hose underneath the sink? It doesn't seem to control water flow. This heavy black object is a counterweight specifically designed for pull-out or pull-down kitchen faucets. The flexible hose that allows the faucet head to extend passes through the faucet body. This weight is clamped onto the hose underneath the sink. When you release the faucet head after pulling it out, the gravity acting on this weight helps to smoothly and automatically retract the hose back into the faucet body, ensuring the faucet head docks securely in place. It's a crucial component for the proper functioning of these types of faucets. Found in a plastic parts bag under an upstairs bathroom sink, this small plastic clip has an indeterminate shape, but its location suggests a connection to plumbing fixtures. What is the purpose of this small clip? Likely part of a repair kit or original installation hardware for a toilet or sink. This small plastic piece is identified as a clip specifically from a toilet repair kit. Its function is to attach the thin rubber refill tube, which runs from the fill valve, securely to the edge of the larger overflow pipe inside the toilet tank. This ensures that during the tank refilling process, water from the refill tube correctly flows down into the overflow pipe to replenish the water level in the toilet bowl itself. Without this clip, the refill tube might spray water elsewhere in the tank, leading to inefficient flushing or noise. Found in a garage, this object measures about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, is black, and appears metallic. Its shape isn't immediately clear from the description, but its size and material suggest it could be a part from a bicycle, tool, or piece of hardware. What could this small, black metallic item be? This small, black metallic piece is identified as a locking pedal cleat, specifically the type used with clipless pedal systems on mountain bikes and sometimes road bikes. These cleats are bolted to the bottom of special cycling shoes. They engage with a mechanism on the pedal, securely locking the rider's foot to the pedal for improved power transfer and control. Different brands, like Shimano SPD or Crank Brothers, have distinct cleat shapes, but they generally fit this size and material description. Discovered in a tackle box, this item consists of a 3-inch steel rod with a cross-section top. A Bass Pro Shops lanyard is attached, suggesting an outdoor or possibly fishing-related use, though its function isn't obvious. What is this steel rod tool, with a specific shape at the end, intended for? Despite being found in a tackle box, this tool is identified as a tuning tool key, often used for adjusting the tension rods on a drum kit. The cross-sectioned or square-shaped socket at the end fits onto the square heads of the tension rods located around the rim of a drum. Turning the key tightens or loosens the drum head, allowing the drummer to tune the drum to the desired pitch. Why it was in a tackle box is anyone's guess. Perhaps the owner was both a musician and an angler. Found on a construction site, these items consist of interlinked steel clamps, incorporating black and yellow foam squares. Their design suggests they are used for mounting or suspending something, with the foam providing some sort of buffering or isolation. What is the specific purpose of these clamps with foam elements? These components are identified as noise isolation hangers, specifically designed for use in suspended ceiling systems, also known as drop ceilings. They are used to hang the ceiling grid framework from the structural beams above. The steel clamps provide the structural connection, while the foam, or sometimes rubber, elements act as vibration dampers, isolating the ceiling grid from vibrations transmitting through the building structure. This helps to reduce noise transmission between floors, creating a quieter environment. The black pieces mentioned might be temporary transport clips. Found in a dresser in an old house, purchased in Piemonte, Italy, this object resembles a casket or small box, but feels heavy and solid, not hollow. One side appears metallic, while the other feels like stone. It's about 19 cm long and doesn't seem to open, despite its box-like shape. Found alongside 1970s clothes, a whatisthisthing razor kit, and silverware. What could this heavy, solid stone and metal object be? This object is identified as a sharpening stone, likely a combination stone housed within a protective case or base, which gives it the casket-like appearance. Sharpening stones, also known as whetstones, are used to sharpen the edges of blades, such as knives or razors, fitting with the discovery of a whatisthisthing razor kit nearby. Combination stones often feature two different grits, coarseness levels, one side for coarse sharpening and the other for fine honing, which could explain the different materials felt. The metallic side might be the case or a coarser stone material. Found on an old farm, this tool consists of a stone block with holes drilled into it, attached to a wooden handle. Its appearance is rustic and utilitarian. What could this combination of stone and wood be used for? The stone suggests sharpening or abrasion, while the handle implies manual work. This tool appears to be a specialized implement used for preparing and waxing cross-country skis. Ski waxing often involves applying glide wax and then structuring the base for optimal performance in different snow conditions. The stone block, possibly with varying grits or patterns related to the holes, could be used for cleaning the ski base, smoothing applied wax, or creating a specific structure on the base after waxing. The wooden handle provides grip for applying pressure and control during the process. Spotted in a work gym, this piece of equipment is roughly the length of a workout bench and stands a little under waist height. It's made of metal, painted white, and features a green padded area. Its specific configuration isn't fully detailed, but its presence in a gym suggests it's for exercise. What type of workout is this bench designed for? This piece of gym equipment is identified as a back extension bench, or hyper-extension bench. To use it, you typically position yourself face down, hooking your legs or ankles under the padded bar or rollers. Your hips rest on the main green pad. From this position, you hinge forward at the hips, lowering your upper body towards the floor, and then raise it back up by contracting your lower back, glute, and hamstring muscles. It's an effective exercise for strengthening the posterior chain, particularly the lower back. This heavy metal piece, covered in a black plastic-like layer, fell off a 2014 VW Tiguan while driving. It's clearly part of the vehicle, but doesn't seem to match the diameter of the main suspension springs. What specific component could this be? Its failure while driving suggests a critical part. This object is identified as a piece of a broken coil spring from the car's suspension system. Coil springs support the vehicle's weight and absorb shocks from the road. While it might not match the diameter of the main part of the spring, springs often taper or have varied coil spacing, and they typically break near the ends. Coil spring failure is a known issue on some vehicles, including VWs as noted. The black layer is likely a protective coating applied to the spring. A broken spring is a serious issue affecting vehicle handling and safety. Found in a house, this small white object consists of two plastic pieces held open by a spring between them. Its design suggests it's meant to clamp onto or hold something, likely a cord or string, using the spring tension. What is this small, spring-loaded plastic device? This small spring-loaded plastic item is commonly known as a cord lock or toggle stop. It's designed to be used with drawstrings, typically found on clothing, like jackets, hoodies, jogging bottoms, bags, like backpacks or laundry bags, or other items requiring adjustable cords. You squeeze the two plastic pieces together, compressing the spring, which opens the holes in the center. You then thread the ends of the drawstring through the holes. Releasing the plastic pieces allows the spring to clamp down on the cord, holding it securely at the desired length. Found in the top rack of a dishwasher in a new apartment, this object is made of steel. Its edges are described as pointy but not quite sharp. The initial guess was a cuticle remover. A TV remote is used for scale. What is this small, potentially pointy steel tool, likely related to personal grooming or kitchen use? The initial guess is correct. This small steel tool is identified as a cuticle pusher, a common manicure and pedicure implement. One end is typically flat and curved to gently push back the cuticles, the skin at the base of the nail, while the other end might be pointed or shaped for cleaning under the nails or removing stubborn bits of skin. Being made of steel, it's durable and easily sanitized, which might explain how it ended up in the dishwasher, likely for cleaning after use. Found in a jewelry bundle from an op shop, thrift store, this silver item is about 3 centimeters long and has a marble seemingly captured inside. It bears hallmarks indicating sterling silver, origin, Finland, and a maker's mark, an arrow. However, it lacks any obvious pin or loop for attachment, making it unclear how it would be worn. What is this intriguing silver and marble piece? Despite the lack of an obvious loop, this item is identified as a pendant. It is specifically noted as likely being modeled after or similar to a known design, referenced by a link in the original discussion, though not provided here. Pendants can sometimes have hidden bails or loops, or they might be designed to be threaded directly onto a chain or cord through openings in the structure itself. The hallmarks confirm its quality and origin, making it a piece of Finnish silver jewelry, likely designed by a recognized artist or company. This object features copper elements emerging from it, feels fairly weighty, and appears to be filled with something, possibly more copper, running through its core. Its construction suggests it's related to electrical wiring or cabling designed to connect or terminate wires. What specific type of electrical component could this be? Based on the description of visible copper, weight, and internal material, this object likely represents some form of cable splice or termination. Cable splices are used to join two or more electrical cables together, ensuring a secure and conductive connection. They often involve layers of insulation, shielding, and conductive materials, like copper, and can be quite dense and heavy, especially for larger power or communication cables. The visible copper could be the conductors themselves or part of the shielding or grounding system within the splice. Found inside the driver's side door panel of a 2016 Ford Focus in the UK, this circular clip is located below the window controls, possibly where rear window buttons might otherwise be. It looks designed to hold something cylindrical. Neither the owner nor the dealer knew its purpose. What could this clip inside the door panel be for? This clip is suggested to be a holder specifically for a car window glass breaker, shark seatbelt cutter, emergency tool. These tools are often cylindrical or pen-shaped and are designed to be kept within easy reach of the driver in case of an accident where windows need to be broken or seatbelts cut for escape. Placing a dedicated clip in the door panel provides a secure and accessible mounting point for such a safety device. It's an aftermarket edition or perhaps a feature included in certain trims or regions. Acquired from an antique shop where it was labeled, "What is this?" This object feels like solid brass and consists of two main pieces that screw together. An offset screw is also present, threading into a hole that seems solely for that purpose. Its weight and symmetrical shape hint at a measuring or alignment function. What could this intriguing brass device be? This brass object is identified as a plumb line or pendulum weight, often called a plumb bob. Plumb bobs are used to establish a true vertical line, a plumb line. A string or wire is attached to the top, likely threaded through the hole in the top half and secured somehow, perhaps involving the offset screw. And the weight is allowed to hang freely. Gravity pulls it straight down, providing a precise vertical reference for construction, surveying, or setting up machinery. The two-piece construction might allow for internal adjustment or simply be part of the design. Bought at a flea market in Pennsylvania, this wooden object resembles a stamp but seems potentially related to cooking or baking. Its shape suggests it's used for pressing or tamping something down into a container or mold. What specific kitchen task might this wooden stamp be used for? This wooden item is identified as the plunger component of a hand-cranked nut grinder. Vintage nut grinders often consisted of a glass jar base, a grinding mechanism on top with a hand crank, and this wooden plunger. The user would feed nuts into the top hopper and use the wooden plunger to safely push the nuts down towards the grinding mechanism while turning the crank, without risking their fingers. It's a specific part of an old-fashioned kitchen gadget for chopping nuts. This object is described as a foam holder of some sort, attached to a long lanyard designed to be worn around the neck. What could this foam holder on a lanyard be intended for? The foam suggests insulation or protection, and the lanyard implies hands-free carrying. This item is identified as a wine glass koozie or holder designed to be worn around the neck. The foam holder is shaped to snugly fit the base and bowl of a standard wine glass, providing some insulation to keep the wine cool and potentially offering minor protection. The lanyard allows the wearer to carry their wine glass hands-free, which is particularly popular at festivals, outdoor events, parties, or wine tastings, where people might be mingling, eating, or needing their hands for other things. Found slightly buried in a muddy area of a London park, this small metal object is circular and pointed, measuring 5 cm tall and 3.5 cm wide at its broadest. It appears broken off at the base and consists of 5 circular sections. Its weight suggests it's solid metal. Google suggested a furniture finial, but no exact match was found. What could this decorative metal piece be? This decorative, pointed metal piece is identified as the top or finial from an iron fence post. Cast iron fences, common in parks and around properties, especially historically, often feature decorative elements like this capping the vertical posts. The described shape, circular sections, pointed top, and material, heavy, likely cast iron, are characteristic of such finials. Being found buried in a park suggests it broke off an old fence nearby and was eventually covered by mud and time. Dug up during a fence installation in central Minnesota, this large object resembles a pipe made of pink and gray material. The pink part seems water-soluble. Writing on it possibly includes max RPM. What could this unusual pipe-like object with distinct material properties and markings be? Its composition and markings hint at an industrial or mechanical origin. This object is identified as a centerless grinding wheel. Centerless grinding is an industrial process used to shape cylindrical parts. The wheels are large, abrasive components used in specialized grinding machines. They are often made from bonded abrasive materials, which could explain the pink and gray appearance and potential water solubility of the bonding agent. The max RPM marking is crucial safety information, indicating the maximum rotational speed the wheel can handle without risk of shattering. Finding one buried suggests it was discarded industrial waste. Observed, placed alongside roads, in grassy areas for miles and in various parts of town, are these wooden boards. Their appearance coincided with a period of heavy rain. What is the purpose of these seemingly temporary wooden boards laid out on the grass near roads? These wooden boards, or sometimes heavy-duty plastic mats, are ground protection mats. They are commonly used by utility companies or construction crews, especially those working with heavy vehicles like bucket trucks or cranes needed for overhead line work, power, telecom. When the ground is soft or wet, like after heavy rain, these mats distribute the vehicle's weight over a larger area, preventing the heavy equipment from sinking into the grass, creating deep ruts, or damaging lawns and verges. They provide temporary stability and access. Found in some gravel, this very small, round metal item features a design depicting a gymnast or dancer. A fork is used for scale, indicating its tiny size. What could this miniature decorative metal piece be? It seems too small for a coin or token, and the design suggests it might be part of clothing or an accessory. This tiny decorated metal piece is likely a decorative cord stop or cord lock, probably from a drawstring on an item of clothing. These are often found on things like hoodies, jackets, backpacks, or athletic wear, like dancewear or gym clothes, fitting the gymnast or dancer motif. The drawstring passes through the hole, says, in the stop, which can then be slid and held in place, sometimes via a spring mechanism, sometimes just friction, to tighten or loosen the cord. This one seems purely decorative, adding a small embellishment. Acquired from a thrift store, this cabinet features a tilt-out drawer. Inside the drawer, mounted on the back panel, are 3 tube-like holders. The 2 tubes on the right have cross-shaped openings at the bottom. What are these 3 tubes inside the tilt-out drawer designed to hold? Their specific shapes and number suggest a dedicated purpose. A hairstylist identifies this piece precisely. It's a blow-dry, or hairstyling tool, cabinet notch holder. The 3 tubes are designed to securely store common heated styling tools. They typically hold a blow dryer, a curling iron, and a flat iron, straightener. The specialized openings, like the cross-shaped ones, might accommodate specific plug shapes or allow heat to dissipate. These cabinets are common in salons and homes, providing organized and heat-resistant storage for frequently used styling appliances, often incorporating power strips inside. This wooden item stands about 3 feet high and features several adjustable pieces. Notably, it includes a basket-like component and something resembling a music stand. What is the purpose of this complex wooden stand with adjustable parts, a basket, and a stand? It seems designed for a specific craft or hobby. This intricate wooden stand is identified as a fancy hoop stand used for embroidery, needlepoint, or similar hand-stitching crafts. The main part, with adjustable knobs, is designed to securely hold an embroidery hoop, freeing up the crafter's hands to work on the project. The music stand portion is actually intended to hold the pattern or instruction chart for the design being stitched. The basket provides convenient storage for threads, scissors, needles, and other necessary supplies while working. It's an all-in-one workstation for serious stitchers. Bandage. This item resembles some type of griddle pan, but comes with a unique pressing lid or top component. What is this specific type of pan with a matching press designed for cooking? The press suggests it's used for flattening or shaping food during the cooking process. This specialized cookware is identified as a sliders pan or press. It's designed specifically for making multiple small hamburger patties, sliders, simultaneously. The bottom pan often has indentations or sections for the individual patties. The top piece is a press, used to flatten the ground meat uniformly into the sections of the bottom pan, ensuring even cooking and consistent slider shape. It streamlines the process of making multiple sliders, often for parties or family meals. Found in the concrete floor of a garage in a 1950s house, possibly in small-town Michigan, is this 24-inch wide hole filled with dirt. Beneath the dirt, there might be clay or metal components. What was the original purpose of this large hole embedded in the garage floor? Its size suggests it wasn't for typical plumbing. This feature is identified as an old floor drain, likely intended for draining liquids from the garage space. In homes from the mid-20th century and earlier, garages often served as workshops or places for vehicle maintenance. Drains like this were installed to handle water from washing cars, spills, or potentially even the dumping of automotive fluids like oil or antifreeze, practices common before environmental regulations became stringent. Covers for these large drains existed, but often rusted away or were lost, leading to them being filled with dirt over time. Located in the thick concrete floor of a small old barn that once housed cows and pigs is this distinct channel. It measures 3 inches deep, 12.5 inches wide, and runs 11.5 feet long. There's no nearby water source connected to it. What was the function of this shallow, wide channel in the barn floor? This channel is identified as a manure gutter or channel, a common feature in older barns designed for housing livestock, particularly dairy cows tied in stalls, stanchions. The channel ran behind the roofs of animals and was designed to collect manure and urine, making it easier to scrape or shovel the waste out of the barn for disposal or use as fertilizer. Its dimensions are typical for this purpose, allowing for easy cleaning with a wide shovel or scraper. Found in an old plastic container filled with random items, mostly sewing supplies, is this odd metal tool. It has some weight to it, and notably, the round end spins freely. Its connection to sewing isn't clear. What is this metal tool with a spinning end? This tool is identified as a vintage pin vise. A pin vise is essentially a small, handheld chuck designed to hold very small drill bits, wires, pins, or other slender tools. The round end that spins is typically the collar used to tighten or loosen the chuck jaws, located at the opposite end, clamping down on the inserted item. They are commonly used in model making, jewelry work, electronics, and other crafts, requiring precision handling of tiny components, including potentially some specialized sewing or needlework tasks. This plastic, pen-like electronic device is lightweight, about 15 centimeters long, and features a button and an indicator light. It's connected via a cable to a female DB9 RS232 serial connector. Branded Opticon and labeled Made in Japan, it likely dates from the 80s or 90s and belonged to someone who worked in a warehouse. What is this pen-style device with a serial port connection? This device is identified as an older model barcode scanner or reader, often referred to as a wand scanner. In the era before modern laser or camera-based scanners, these wand types were common. The user would physically swipe the tip of the pen across the barcode. The button likely activated the reading mechanism, and the light indicated a successful scan. The DB9 RS232 connector was a standard serial port used to connect peripherals like this to computers or data terminals, common in warehouse inventory systems during that time period. Found under a kitchen table, this pottery ornament is about the width of a finger and a couple of centimeters high. It features a hole on the back and looks like it snapped off something larger underneath. Its shape is somewhat insect-like. What could this small pottery piece be a part of? This small pottery piece is likely the remnant of a dragonfly or mayfly sculpture or ornament. The description suggests it's the main body and head portion. The hole on the back might have been for mounting, or perhaps where wings were attached, as suggested by the reference to missing wires, Shalsuchun's wings. The part that snapped off underneath could have been the abdomen or legs, or the point where it attached to a base, or larger decorative piece. Insect motifs are common in pottery decoration. Found on a beach in Salerno, Italy, this lightweight metallic object is shaped somewhat like a bracelet, but is too small for an adult wrist, possibly fitting a child. It features decorative-looking crosses and appears handmade due to irregularities. It's non-magnetic and weighs 52 grams. Is it jewelry or something more industrial? Despite resembling a bracelet, this object is identified as a zinc anode, specifically the type used for sacrificial cathodic protection on boat shafts or hulls. These anodes are made of zinc, a metal less noble than the propeller shaft or hull material, like bronze or steel. When immersed in salt water, an electrolyte, the zinc corrodes preferentially, sacrificially, protecting the more critical and expensive metal components from galvanic corrosion. They are often shaped like collars or bracelets to clamp around shafts and need periodic replacement as they get consumed. Received by a grandfather years ago, this round film is stored in an envelope labeled Family History. The owner is concerned about degradation and wants to know if it's audio or video and what equipment is needed to play it. What type of media is this likely to be, given its age and film appearance? This round film is identified as audio tape, specifically for use on a reel-to-reel tape deck. Before cassettes and digital media, Reel-to-reel was a common format for recording and playing audio, including voice recordings like family histories. The film is actually magnetic tape wound onto a reel. To play it, you would need a functioning reel-to-reel tape player, jar, recorder, compatible with the reel size and tape width. While degradation is possible over time, professional services can often digitize these tapes to preserve the content. Embedded in the pavement, this white metal object is bell-shaped, standing about 2 feet tall and 2 feet across. What is the purpose of this sturdy, bell-shaped structure set into the ground, typically near curbs or corners? It seems designed to withstand impacts. This object is identified as a bell bollard. Bollards are short posts used to control traffic or protect structures. The distinctive feature of a bell bollard is its shape. The wide, sloping base is designed so that when a vehicle's wheel strikes it, the wheel is deflected downwards and away, minimizing damage to both the bollard and the vehicle, especially tires and axles, compared to hitting a vertical post directly. They are often placed at corners or near walls to prevent vehicles from mounting the curb or striking buildings. This long, thin, black hose-like object is about 5 feet long and features a turning knob at one end and a bracket. Turning the knob causes the other end of the hose, likely a flexible shaft or cable inside, to turn. It's associated with the brand Newport, known for lab equipment. What could this remote rotary control be used for? This device is identified as a remote focus control or adjustment mechanism, likely for a piece of laboratory equipment manufactured by Newport, a well-known supplier of precision optics, motion control, and lab components. It allows for fine adjustment of focus or positioning of an optical element, like a lens mirror or sample stage, within an experimental setup, possibly related to spectroscopy or microscopy, as suggested. The flexible shaft allows the control knob to be placed conveniently away from the main apparatus, perhaps to avoid disturbing a sensitive experiment while making adjustments. Observed along the highway, Route 36, going into Estes Park, Colorado, are these brown metal tubes approximately 25 feet high, featuring mesh intakes or panels. They appear in series along the route into Roosevelt National Park. What are these tall, tubular structures with mesh elements? These structures are identified as 5G cellular antennas. Modern cellular infrastructure, especially for higher frequency bands like those used in 5G, often involves arrays of antennas housed within cylindrical or panel-like enclosures, shrouds, mounted on poles. The brown color helps them blend somewhat with the natural environment. The mesh intakes might be part of the antenna design or ventilation for the enclosed electronics. Their placement along highways ensures continuous coverage for mobile devices traveling through the area, including national parks. Found plugged into an outlet near the sink in a private bathroom at an Embassy Suites hotel, this round, white, circular device couldn't be easily unplugged. It had no distinctive markings visible. Google Lens suggested a nightlight, but it wasn't lit when the room lights were off. Could it be broken? Or is it something else entirely? This device is identified as a Casper Glow nightlight. These smart nightlights are designed to provide a warm, gentle light that helps users wind down before sleep and wake up gradually. They often feature gesture controls, like flipping to turn on, josh off, or twisting to adjust brightness, and can be controlled via a smartphone app. The reason it wasn't lit might be because it was turned off via the app, its schedule wasn't active, or it requires a specific gesture, like being picked up or flipped, to activate. They are designed to be somewhat difficult to unplug inadvertently. Made by Bloom, likely a typo for Bloom, a major hardware manufacturer, this gray, sturdy plastic object can fold out when a button underneath is pushed. What is this adjustable, foldable plastic device used for? Its design suggests organization or storage, possibly within a kitchen or cabinet. This item is identified as a Bloom Orga line adjustable plate holder organizer, model ZTH03503 or similar. It's a kitchen accessory designed to be placed inside deep drawers. It securely stores stacks of plates, preventing them from shifting or rattling when the drawer is opened and closed. The adjustable nature allows it to accommodate different plate sizes, and the folding feature might be for storage or initial packaging. Bloom is well known for high-quality kitchen cabinet hardware and organizational systems. This small metal pole, about 4 inches long, features a key ring at one end and a small button on the shaft near the other end. It's non-magnetic and weighs 1.3 Oz. What is this pin with a button and keyring designed for? The button suggests some kind of locking or release mechanism. This device is called a quick release pin, often also known as a ball lock pin or detent pin. Pressing the button retracts small locking balls located near the tip of the pin, allowing the pin to be easily inserted into or removed from a hole. When the button is released, the balls spring out, securely locking the pin in place. They are used in a wide variety of applications where components need to be frequently and quickly assembled or disassembled without tools. Common uses include boat canopies, rigging, scaffolding, exercise equipment, and temporary fixtures. Described simply as a black electric plastic device with a ring shape. What could this ring-shaped electronic item be? Its shape and electrical nature hint at a specific function, possibly related to charging or data transfer. Based on the description of a black, ring-shaped electrical plastic device, the most likely identification is an inductive, wireless charger. These chargers use electromagnetic induction to transfer energy to compatible devices, like smartphones, smartwatches, or earbuds, placed on top of them without needing a physical cable connection. The ring shape is a common design aesthetic for these charging pads, often with the charging coil located within the ring or the central area. Found buried under a pile of small dry beans off a bike trail along the Hudson River were these gold-colored objects featuring engravings and set with gems. What could these ornate, seemingly ritualistic objects be? Their discovery, location, and appearance suggest they might be related to religious or spiritual practices. These objects are identified as Indian yantras. A yantra is a mystical diagram, a geometric symbol used in Hindu or tantric traditions as an aid to meditation and concentration, believed to possess spiritual or magical powers. They often incorporate geometric shapes, symbols, and sometimes mantras or deities. While traditionally drawn or engraved, three-dimensional versions or plaques like these, sometimes made of metal, possibly gold-plated brass, and adorned with gems or colored glass of stones, are also created for ritual use, worship, or as protective talismans. Bearing them could be part of a specific ritual. Found under a sink in the basement of an old house near a leaky pipe, but not part of the leak itself, this plastic, PVC, object seems to have some sort of valve at one end and two different sized tubes at the other. What is this plumbing component? This plastic device is identified as a sink air gap, specifically one used for dishwasher drainage systems. Its purpose is crucial for preventing backflow contamination. The dishwasher drain hose connects to one of the smaller tube storage inlets. Water flows up over an internal gap, open to the air, often via small vents under a decorative cap on the countertop, and then down through the larger tube outlet, which connects to the garbage disposal or sink drain. This air gap ensures that dirty sink water cannot siphon back into the dishwasher, maintaining hygiene. This small, white, plastic, key-like item randomly appeared on a kitchen counter in the UK. The owners have never seen it before. What could this simple plastic key be used for? Its shape suggests it interacts with a specific lock or mechanism. This small plastic key is identified as an opener, specifically for a Torque roll dispenser. Torque is a brand that manufactures paper towel, toilet paper, and soap dispensers commonly found in commercial restrooms and kitchens. Many of their dispensers have a simple plastic lock mechanism to prevent pilfering or tampering. This plastic key is designed to fit that specific lock, allowing maintenance staff or owners to open the dispenser for refilling. How it ended up on a home kitchen counter is unknown. Thrifted from Goodwill, this wooden rack's intended purpose is unclear. Its size and structure suggest it's for hanging or storing specific items. What is this wooden rack designed for? It doesn't seem like a standard clothes drying rack or shelf. This wooden rack is identified as a closet or rack specifically designed for doll clothes, most likely homemade. Its size and proportions would be suitable for hanging clothes, designed for dolls like those from the American Girl line or similar large dolls. The lower part might be intended for storing doll shoes or accessories. Homemade doll furniture is quite common, often crafted by parents or grandparents for children's play. Found on the kitchen floor, this small metal knob's origin is a mystery. What could this small component be part of? It seems like a piece that might have detached from an appliance or piece of furniture. This small metal knob is suggested to be one of the feet from a kitchen scale. Many digital or mechanical kitchen scales stand on several small feet, often made of metal or plastic with rubber pads. These feet provide stability and ensure accurate readings by keeping the scale level. It's common for these small components to become detached or lost over time, especially if the scale is moved frequently. Checking any kitchen scales in the house might reveal the source. Appearing seemingly overnight all over a yard are these brown clumps resembling wet sawdust. They have a slightly darker color and crumble into a seed-like texture. The dog is strangely obsessed with eating them. What are these mysterious clumps covering the lawn? These brown, crumbly clumps are identified as nightcrawler worm castings. Earthworms, particularly large nightcrawlers, consume soil and organic matter. Their excrement, known as castings, is deposited on the soil surface, often forming small mounds or clumps, especially after rain or overnight when they are most active near the surface. These castings are rich in nutrients and beneficial for soil health. Dogs are sometimes attracted to the smell or taste of worm castings. Going out after dark with a flashlight might reveal the worms responsible. This wooden tool features a hole running through its middle and has metal parts capping the ends. What is this specific type of wooden spool or tool used for, likely related to textiles or crafting? These wooden objects with metal-capped ends are identified as antique thread bobbins, specifically the type used in industrial textile machinery, such as large looms or spinning frames from the 19th or early 20th centuries. Thread or yarn would be wound onto the wooden core, and the metal ends provided durability and a smooth surface for interaction with the machinery during the weaving or spinning process. Today, these antique bobbins are often collected or repurposed for decorative purposes due to their historical charm and industrial aesthetic. Recessed into the floor is this green plastic sleeve containing a metal coil inside. What is this device embedded in the floor, and what does it measure? Its placement suggests it was installed before the final flooring was laid. This recessed device is identified as a moisture sensor, specifically one installed beneath flooring materials like luxury vinyl tile, LVT, hardwood, or sometimes concrete slabs. Before installing certain types of flooring, especially those sensitive to moisture, contractors may embed these sensors. They allow for monitoring the moisture content of the subfloor, often concrete, over time, typically via readings taken with a compatible handheld meter placed over the sensor. This is often done for warranty purposes, ensuring the subfloor moisture levels remained within acceptable limits after installation. Bought at a flea market from a vintage collection box, this long chromed metal tube measures about 20 centimeters long and 2.5 centimeters in diameter. It has a polished finish and a press-fit end cap with 3 small holes. It seems too long for a shaving brush. What could this vented chrome tube be? This chrome tube with a vented cap is identified as a travel toothbrush holder, likely dating from the 1980s or earlier. Before modern plastic holders became standard, these metal tubes were common for protecting toothbrushes during travel. The length accommodates a standard toothbrush, and the holes in the end cap allow for air circulation, helping the brush bristles dry out after use and preventing mildew or stale odors. It's a durable, if somewhat dated, travel accessory. Noticed on a bathroom wall in a relatively new apartment are 7 weird bumps or divots, each about 1 to 2 inch in diameter. They are arranged in 2 perfectly spaced vertical columns, 4 bumps on the right, 3 slightly indented spots on the left. They have the same texture as the painted drywall. What could be causing these perfectly aligned imperfections on the wall surface? These bumps and slight divots are identified as improperly finished drywall nails or screws. When drywall panels are installed, they are fastened to the wall studs using nails or screws. These fasteners should be slightly countersunk below the surface, and then covered smoothly with joint compound, mud, and sanded before painting, making them invisible. In this case, the installation was done poorly. Some nails, shias, screws might not be set deep enough, causing bumps, while others might be slightly too deep, or the mudding job was uneven, causing divots. The perfect alignment corresponds to the location of the wall studs. Found in the mud under power lines in western North Carolina after Hurricane Helene, this object is light blue and black and looks like something screws into it. Its location and appearance suggest a connection to electrical infrastructure. What could this sturdy, possibly ceramic or glass object be? This object is identified as a power line insulator. Insulators are essential components of overhead electrical distribution systems. They are used to support the power lines while preventing the electrical current from flowing through the utility pole or tower to the ground. They are typically made of porcelain, ceramic, or glass. Older ones often came in various colors like light blue, materials that have high electrical resistance. The threaded hole is where they screw onto a pin mounted on the pole's crossarm. Finding one on the ground, especially after a storm, suggests it broke off a nearby power pole. Mounted outside a house near the front door, next to a window, is this metal hinge-like object with a clip. The clip seems like it should allow the hinge to bend inwards, but another piece of metal connecting it to the house prevents this movement. What is this oddly installed metal bracket, and what was its intended purpose? This metal bracket is identified as a light-duty support bracket, typically used for window air conditioning units. These brackets help support the weight of the AC unit resting on the windowsill, providing stability and preventing it from falling. However, this one has been installed completely incorrectly, sideways and in a way that prevents its intended function, likely supporting something placed on the windowsill below it. Why it was installed this way is unclear. Perhaps it was repurposed or installed by someone who didn't understand its function. Found next to a tire, this 2-inch gray metallic object features a spring and a screw hole. The owner wants to confirm it's not part of their Honda CR-V's suspension. What is this spring-loaded threaded component? This component is identified as a slide-in T-nut or channel nut. It's a type of fastener commonly used with slotted aluminum extrusions or channels found in framing systems, roof racks, machinery, or jigs. The main body is threaded to accept a screw or bolt. The spring holds the nut in position within the channel or slot before the screw is inserted and tightened, making assembly easier, especially in vertical or overhead applications. It is definitely not a standard part of a vehicle's suspension system. Found on the curb, this wooden shelf unit features rods and a sliding, swinging attachment on the top rod. Scuff marks suggest a specific orientation, and it looks like it might be stackable with similar units. What is this modular wooden storage unit designed to hold? This wooden unit is identified as a book stand, likely designed also for holding CDs, DVDs, or other media. The key features are its stackability, indicated by potential mating points like the 4 round dots mentioned as the bottom and the sliding piece on the top rod. This sliding piece acts as a movable bookend, keeping books or media cases upright regardless of how full the shelf is. Its modular, stackable design allows users to build a larger storage unit by combining multiple stands. Found in the basement of an antique collector, this solid metal object features 4 distinct divots on its base. Its shape and material suggest it's a tool or base used for some kind of craft or repair work. What could this heavy metal piece with base divots be? This solid metal object with divots on the base is likely part of an antique cobbler's, shoemaker's tool set, specifically an anvil or last stand component. Cobblers used various metal forms, called lasts, shaped like feet to repair or make shoes. These lasts were often mounted on a stand. The heavy metal piece found could be a base for holding different lasts or tools, with the divots possibly serving as sockets for interchangeable posts, or simply as part of the casting or balancing design for stability during hammering and shaping work. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.